If you're in the age group of 16 to 25 and you're a man, chances are you have no clue what you're going to do with your life. In my opinion, everything starts with self improvement. Self improvement leads you down certain paths and certain opportunities that you would have not come across otherwise. So, why do I say this? When you go on self improvement and you level yourself up, people perceive you differently to what you were like before. This goes for both people that you have known before and strangers as well. Your self image changes, so your self worth increases as well. Now you come across different opportunities, whether it be business opportunities or dating opportunities, which will be offered to you because people now perceive you as a high value man. That's why I'm telling you guys that you need to get on self improvement ASAP because now you have the most valuable resource of them all, which is time. The older you get, the more responsibilities that you're going to have and the less time you're going to have to devote to self improvement. If you're 16 or 18, it's so easy to say, oh, I've got time, I can indulge in instant gratification activities for a little bit more, and then I can get on self improvement. But don't you want to get an edge over your friends that aren't on self improvement? Where's your masculine urge to compete with your fellow men? I guess that masculine urge isn't within you because you're still so young. Bro, I didn't either, so I don't blame you. But I'm telling you to not make the same mistake that I made. Even though I've been going to the gym for 6 years now, I've only recently started getting into the other good habits of self improvement. I only wish I started earlier. I was so dumb thinking that self improvement only consisted of going to the gym. So don't make the same mistake that I made. If you're 25 and you're just starting your self improvement journey, don't be ashamed of yourself. Be proud of yourself. Most people go their whole lives without even realizing that self improvement is even a thing. They just follow the herd and do what the majority is doing, which is go to uni, get a safe job, won't even realize that they can level themselves up and work for someone else and retire after a ridiculous amount of years of working. Whereas if you started self improvement young, you would have a wealth of knowledge to navigate yourself through the business world and through relationships as well. You would have a wealth of knowledge because you would have been reading, and reading is a crucial element of self improvement for young men, and you would have been applying those principles in real life as well. When you get into self improvement at the age range of 16 to 25, by your 30s, you'd be the ultimate high value man. You would see a massive difference between the men that didn't get on self improvement and you when you're 30 years old. 30 is that magic age where your hard work shines. It might be a little bit earlier or a little bit later depending on when you start your journey. When you're 30, your youth will start to fade away a little bit. If you haven't been working on yourself physically and you haven't taken care of your health, by that point it will show. You will look much older than you actually are. You have a beer belly, you have wrinkles all over your face, and your body fat is too high, so you'd have a puffy face as well. Bro, just imagine standing next to some random dude and you guys are the same age, but you guys don't look the same age. Like his face is puffy and he's got wrinkles and he's just standing there with a big fat beer belly. While you're standing there at your peak with 10% body fat and veins running through your biceps with a chisel face and a shaped up beard and no wrinkles at all because you took care of your skin. If you don't know already, men are supposed to get better with age, and women are generally supposed to get worse with age. Okay, let me put it this way: men hold on to as much of their youth as possible if they stay in shape and eat healthy into their 40s and 50s. And men are still desirable to women at that age if he looks good. Whereas if a woman takes care of herself and works out and eats healthy into her 40s and 50s, chances are us as men wouldn't still find them attractive. This is because they're past their prime. After around 28 years of age, men find any woman older than that less desirable. Whereas for men, it's the complete opposite. We are more desirable with age, so you guys have to understand this to play the long game. Don't think that, oh, I have to get a six pack by summer, so I'll work for 3 months straight and slack off after that. Don't be like that. Play the long game and think that I want to look good for the rest of my life, so I'm gonna take it step by step. Some of you think that 20s are your prime. Wait till you get to your 30s, and it's a whole different ball game. But that's if you put in the work. If you don't put in the work, you will still be the same loser that you were in your 20s. Bro, don't come to me saying that, oh, Himanshu told me that I'm gonna be a Chad in my 30s, and I'm not. Yes, I did say that, but I also did say that you have to put in the work, otherwise it doesn't matter. You need to get your body right, your mental health right, and your finances right. After that, you will attract anything that you want. I feel like, in my opinion, those three are the main things that a young man should strive for: an aesthetic body, good mental health, and financial freedom. The easiest one out of them that you can achieve is good mental health if you're relatively already healthy. If you aren't, it might take a little bit longer than others. And when I say relatively healthy, I mean not indulging in instant gratification activities most of the time. The main mental health problems that young men face is depression and anxiety, and those can be fixed pretty easily. And the earlier you start, the better. This age group is perfect for it. So, anxiety means that you're afraid of the future, and depression means that you're afraid or regret the past. I've been in both situations, and what's worked for me is literally getting out of my own head and going for walks, going to the gym, and reading books. Now, I can only give you advice on what's worked best for me. If you're someone like me, it'll work for you, otherwise, it won't. Talking to people has worked for me as well. Now, you might argue that talking to people might increase your anxiety levels. But if you can't talk to strangers, then talk to your friends and family. Normally, anxiety and depression are temporary, meaning that if you give it enough time, it'll pass. And it helps to realize that millions of young men are going through what you're going through, so you're not alone in this. Now, to build an aesthetic body, depending on your body type, it might take 2 to 4 years of consistent hard work. Now, I was blessed with good genes, meaning that I was blessed with a decent body type that puts on muscle fairly quickly, but I put on fat fairly quickly as well, so it's a blessing and a curse at the same time. But yeah, 16 to 25 years of age is a good age group to get in the gym. Again, it's better if you start early, but it's never too late. Most of my audience is in this age group, so you guys need to take action on these things immediately. In terms of getting your finances right, I don't have much experience in this area either. But the basic explanation I can give you is find your passion and find a way to monetize it. This is what I'm doing right now as we speak. I found that my passion is self improvement and I've found a way to monetize it through YouTube. Getting on social media and creating content is the best option for you as a young man, in my opinion. You can be content on anything and you don't have to be the best at what you do either. You can be a beginner and teach other beginners how to do what you're doing. You just need to be one step ahead of your target audience. This way, they can relate to you a lot more as well. Because they see the position that you're in and they can relate to it and they know that it's attainable. So they're more likely to be motivated by it and take that advice on. It's like giving gym advice. If you're a beginner and you go to a pro bodybuilder for gym advice, and then you go to a lifter that's been lifting for about a year for gym advice, who are you more likely to listen to? It's most likely the lifter that's been going for 1 year. Why? Because you feel more relatable to him and you feel like his physique is more attainable. When you get advice from a pro bodybuilder, you're kind of skeptical as well. Like, is this guy even telling the truth when he's on steroids? Creating content on social media is like hacking money in the modern day. This makes you both time and location independent, which means that you work for yourself from anywhere in the world and at any time as well. Bro, like 15 years ago, this wasn't possible. Just think about it, you don't have to be bound by your full time job anymore. If you check off this, which I clearly haven't done yet, except for the mental health and the physique parts, you would have gotten up to a good level in self improvement. And after you get to that point, you better not get complacent.